Hi there, my name is Eleanor Jeans. I'm the Associate Vicar of the Church of Christ the King in Kettering. I've been here nearly 6 years. I live here almost on my own because I'm also joined by my cat who's nearly 18 and called Squirrel. She does occasionally join in. She joined in a service the other Sunday, which was amusing for everyone, including me. It was quite sweet. And actually having an animal around means that I don't feel quite so bad about speaking out loud because theoretically I could be talking to her. Don't know if that works or not, but I'm taking it anyway. I've been asked to share a few things, a few thoughts about what I'm facing and some ideas of how I'm hopefully coping with what's going on at the moment. The first thing is just to think about how we communicate and keep up our relationships with our friends. One of the things that I think many of us will have been finding is the beauty of technology, the opportunity to use our computers to speak on Zoom or to speak on WhatsApp or FaceTime, whatever it might be. And we can use those in really interesting ways. So the other day, I did an online pub quiz, which was on YouTube, and I shared that with a few people and we were on Zoom as we did that. Me and my friend have been playing Uno over FaceTime. We actually played Mapominos the other day. You do need to both have the game for it to work properly. I've heard that there's things like escape rooms online that you can do with friends as well. I've also spent time eating meals with my godchildren and their families, talking to my family, possibly more than I have done for a while. And in fact, I found that through this time, I've spent more time talking to my friends and family than I would normally do. And I wonder whether God is saying something in that. How about maintaining my relationship with God? Well, I'm continuing doing what I was doing already. I'm working through the Bible in about 18 months, and that's been good to do. At the moment, I'm doing a Lent journal, which focuses in on one verse a day, which I found really powerful actually and quite profound. The other thing I've been doing, which I haven't done lots of before, is when I've been doing the housework, I've been playing worship songs. The beauty of living on your own is that no one else can tell you how loud to play the music. So I've been worshipping around the house, and that's been really lovely to do. In terms of a Bible verse to share with you, one of the things that I've been doing, as I say, is going through a Lent journal which has a verse each day. And one of the verses that spoke to me really powerfully was from 1 Peter chapter 5, and I'll just find that for you. It says this: "Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you." I love that verse, those two verses, particularly because of the images of hands. We've got lots of hands in our images at the moment, haven't we? Because a lot of us will be spending a lot of time washing our hands and then using a lot of hand cream afterwards. But what that verse reminds us of is the fact that God has mighty hands that we can place our anxieties, that we can place our fears. And then if we marry that with the image of the cross and of Jesus' hands outstretched in love for us, it shows us just how big, how loving, how awesome, how mighty God's hands are. They are big enough for all that we can place in them. The final thing to share is a survival tip, and there's lots I know that's already been shared. The thing that I would add is that we need to be, as well as being gentle on ourselves, we need to be gentle on our time. I don't know whether you're the same, but I'm finding things take longer to do, whether that's because of where our minds are at or we're having to use a lot of technology, whatever it might be. But we need to be gentle on our time. So if you need to take an hour and a half for lunch, take an hour and a half for lunch. If you need to not go to a meeting, don't go to a meeting, if that's possible, of course. I've decided that I'm going to try not to work in the evenings because I need that time, partly to speak to my friends, but also to recover from using screens quite so much. So let's be gentle on ourselves, and be gentle on ourselves with our time. Don't feel guilty for taking more time than you might normally need.